talking about how I survive this country as someone who grew up in an English speaking country and then relocating to this place where they speak French and mostly Wolof, which is their main language. How I survive it as a Nigeria, I'll be sharing it here with you guys in this particular video. So I got a question. Somebody was actually asking me for this. How I manage to survive communication here in Senegal as a Nigeria. We already know Nigeria is an English-speaking country, while Senegal is a French and Wolof. If this is the kind of video you would love to watch, relax back and we'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. If you're seeing my pretty face for the very first time, you are highly welcome. My name is Mary Queen. I'm a Nigeria content creator living here in Senegal. Okay, guys, like I said, my topic today is how I survive, how I manage to communicate with people outside as a Nigeria, because somebody asked me this particular question about how do I even manage it when it comes to communication and how I manage it as someone who lives in Nigeria, who grew up in Nigeria, where they speak English, and then relocating to Senegal, where they speak French and mostly Wolof. Well, at initial stage, it wasn't easy for me. Like, at initial stage, I wasn't even going out at all without somebody accompanying me. At initial stage, when I came here, I wasn't even going out at all without having my husband around to escort me, no matter whatever it may be. At initial stage, when I come to this country, the most important place I was usually going was in the hospital, because I was going in the hospital for 1 or 2 checkup and all that. That was mostly the place I was actually going 24/7 when I came to this country recently. So I was doing all that. Any day that I had to go there, I had to make sure we fix a date, and my hubby has to be around that very time. Okay, because he has stayed here before I joined him here. He has stayed in this country for a quite long years, for a quite number of years, so he already understands, most especially this their local language, Wolof. He has already known how to speak it. So communication it's not my thing that time. It's not my thing to do. What I know is just to tell him what I want, and then when we go to any place, then he'll be the one to do the talking. Me, I'll be the one to be doing the nodding head and be following their mouths, to listen to him, the way he talks, and reading his lips, and also reading the lips of the person that he's communicating to, what he's also telling him. So that is actually how we were able to be surviving. And at some point, it wasn't easy for us, because he is a business person, and most times his business needs him full time. So sometimes it get to become a problem how we fix a date. Since I need to go on Monday, we need to shift it to Friday. Maybe Friday we should be the day that he will be available to escort me, to go with me. So it wasn't that easy. And there are some days that he was not really available, and for that thing I needed to do it. So he had a secretary back then. So the secretary, although she has resigned from her job in the office, so but he is still in communication with the secretary, so he had to bring her as a family friend closer. So that person, have filmed her once in a while in this channel. Okay, so she was the person that now filled the gap. Okay, Kathy, shout out to you. Thanks for all you do. Let me also use this opportunity to appreciate her. She is amazing. She is a Senegalese lady. Okay, she knows how to speak English as well. So she communicated and had a relationship with so many Nigerians. So she learned English on her own self. She did self-educated herself on English, and then she knows how to communicate so much. When you speak English to her, she'll understand and translate to people. So she became my friend back then. She became my friend. She's as well my friend. In fact, she's not just a friend, she's a family member. So she was the person who filled the gap. In fact, whenever my husband is not around, she would just put in a call to her. Fine, she'll just come and escort me if it's in the hospital, if it's in the marketplace, many places she escorted me to go that time. Especially when I now took in, it was a very, it's something that one has to go to the hospital at every given time to go to check up. Imagine calling her at every week that I have to go to check up, or every month she will be available to escort me to do the translation, to tell the hospitals, the doctors, the nurses how and what I needed to do. So she played a big role for me even then. Even all my kids' documents that I was able to obtain those time, she was the person that played a big role. So somebody was the one helping me that time at the initial stage. Okay, her name is Kati. Kati, thank you so much. I know you may be watching this video. She does watch my channel. Thank you so much. May God bless you for all you do. Whenever you need help, may God always make people available to come to help you, just the way you were helping me. Even up to date, she's always there for me. Because I will not tell you that I've learned the language 100%. So let's back forward to recent time now, how I do survive it. So at some point, I got to learn. I find it very difficult to learn their local language because I don't have someone around who is teaching me the local language, which is Wolof. The only one I find easy to do is the French, because what I do is if I type something, I use most especially Google Translation. Google Translation helped me so much. So what I did was to use Google Translation. When I type something in English, I help myself to translate it in French, and then I also use the speak out. It will play the stuff for me, then I will follow that pronunciation. Another thing, I was also watching one of these their canal. It's called canal here in French in Senegal. I was also using it, and it was playing all these British and Mexican and Spanish movies and France movie, and but then it's in French. So those movie helps me a lot to understand French. I was able to understand French. Actually, right now I can hear French more than speaking it. So going out, I can easily know what I have to say. So right now I can actually defend myself with French while going out. Okay. So now I don't really need somebody to escort me that much, but somebody do escort, but not really often at some. So right now I can communicate with friends for people that hears French. Okay, so that's how I am able to survive it. I was able to use Google Translation. I used my hand to educate myself a little bit when it comes to the translation, to hearing what come is, and as well with the help of the movie I was watching in French, it helps me so much. That was how I am able to survive speaking of French right now, but not Wolof. No, Wolof, I don't even know what my left and right when it comes to their Wolof. So when it's in a situation of Wolof, then I'll call that my friend Kathy. She will come and fill up the missing blanket there. So that's how I'm able to survive communication here. Apart from that, any other thing, mostly any other thing, hobby does that, marketing and all that, he does that. That is how I'm able to communicate it. And this time around, kudos and congrats to me, because my kids are as well getting to, in fact, my daughter right now, she's 5 years. Trust me, I can carry her to go somewhere, she'll just translate what the person said for me, whether it's in French or whether it's in Wolof, or like, she's doing so amazingly well in the French aspect. And in the Wolof aspect, she's coming up as well, and I'm so loving it. Just 5 years, she started school, like she's with her French. Most times I get to ask her, what did you just say right now, or what did this person say, and she does translate it for me. So that's how I'm been able to do what, to survive it for the past how many years now? Let's just say roughly 5 years, 6 years right now. So I hope you have been able to share my experience so far, how I've been able to manage and survive. Speaking of French, it was just lovely people around me that have been helping me so far. And like I've mentioned, the two most important people that played a great role for me. Yes. So I hope I've been able to answer your questions. Okay. Yeah, French is so sweet. I love French, and it's kind of easy than this their local Wolof. I really love to understand that Wolof, but I don't have people that speak it mostly around me. Where I live just me and my kids and all that. Unless I go to the public place, and I don't have more public place to go to. So what I do is the French one. I learn by myself, and I also listen to their French televisions where they speak it, and when somebody said, "Oh, ovary, entree," like you watch a video where somebody was knocking, and then the person that is inside tell the person, "Entree," then entree, and that person was able to open the door. That's my head will go to, oh, so entree means come in. So that was how I was able to, self-educating myself through visual and every other thing around me. Okay, guys, thank you so much. If you're watching this video up to this time, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in my next clip. Bye, guys.